guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Baddies South Season 2 Episode 3, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Let's just get right into this episode because there was a lot of fighting and a lot of lying. Persuasion and Anne end up getting into a physical altercation because Anne, being the clout chaser that she is, decides to go into the room where Persuasion is laying down after her 2 fights with Krishan, and she's chilling there on her phone, and Anne goes in there starting trouble with her, basically saying that Persuasion is guilty by association because she is a roommate to Bree. I thought this was really weak of Anne. I felt like if she has an issue with Bree, why don't you take it up with her instead of coming at Persuasion just because Persuasion is a roommate to Bree. It just looked weird to me, and it made me feel like she only went after Persuasion because she felt like Persuasion was the easier target since she just got beat up twice by Krishan. And so I thought it was really weak of her. The two of them end up fighting because Anne ends up jumping onto the couch where Persuasion is laying, and the couch ends up tipping over and the two of them are fighting. Now, I don't know who won the fight, but from what I was able to see, I felt like Persuasion got the upper hand on Anne because when the cameras finally caught up with them while they were fighting, it looked like, Persuasion had Anne by her hair and she was pinned down to the ground. So honestly, I feel like Persuasion probably won that fight, but maybe because we didn't get to see everything that took place. But honestly, Anne deserved that because she shouldn't be starting trouble with people just because she wants to be seen because she wants clout. When the fight with Anne and Persuasion is over, Persuasion is crying to production and Natalie about how she wants to go home because she's tired of being attacked. Now, she started the drama with Krishan in the first place, and that's the reason why the two of them fought twice. Had she not run her mouth about the girl would have never put hands on her, and she would have never been in 2 altercations with the same person. But now she got into it with Anne, although I do think that Anne was wrong. Persuasion is not a victim. She knew what the show gave. She saw the first season, and she wanted to be a part of the second one. And she knows that this show is supposed to be a spinoff of the Bad Girls Club, although it's nothing like Bad Girls Club. Bad Girls Club was obviously a lot better, but at the same time, she knew that it was going to be some of the girls from BGC. She knew what this was going to be about, so she knew that fighting was a part of the show. And so she just wants to go home because she's embarrassed that she got beat up twice on TV. Now, I could tell by watching this episode from the very beginning that Rollie and Anne was going to end up getting into some type of altercation with each other because Rollie felt some type of way about Anne attacking Persuasion rather than going after Bree, who she really has an issue with. And I felt some type of way about that too. And the way that Anne talks to some of the other ladies in the house and then she thinks that she's not going to get popped for doing it. It's like she's going to pop off to the wrong person and she's really going to get beat up. And I think Rollie might be that person to put hands on her because she keeps on disrespecting everybody. And that's why I don't really like when they put girls on the show who were never a part of Bad Girls Club because they always do too much. They always feel like they have to prove themselves to be better than everybody else, and I just really don't like that. I think Anne's a pretty girl, but I think she's too much of a clout chaser, and the only reason why I'm calling her a clout chaser is because she admitted to being one on Instagram the other day. She said that she only came on the show for clout, which is fine, but it's like you don't have to do the most on the episodes just to prove yourself either. When the ladies finally decide to walk to the bus so that they can finally go to Charlotte, North Carolina, they end up having another altercation because Bree decides that she wants to fight Anne, and so she tells Anne that she wants to fight, and Anne runs up and the two of them square up and they start fighting on the ground. Now, I don't think that this was even really a fight because it was so fast. Like, security immediately broke them up and they slipped in the grass because the grass was really wet. So I don't really think that it was much of a fight. I don't think anybody won that at all. But at the same time, I am disappointed in Bree for her allowing the other ladies, especially Natalie and Jayla, to manipulate her into fighting Anne, because when Anne made the comment about Bree allegedly being a escort on the bus in the first episode, I felt like Bree handled the situation the way that she wanted to handle it. Now, we know that Bree is not a punk. We know that she will defend herself. We saw her on her season do it, and she's been continuing to do so. So I just don't know why she felt like she really needed to prove herself just because these ladies wanted her to fight. Natalie only encouraged her to fight Anne because she wants ratings for the show, and Jayla is Natalie's little puppet, so she just followed right behind her. So it was just a mess, and I honestly don't think that Bree should allow them to manipulate her because it really wasn't a good look. Although Anne definitely deserved to get popped for what she said to Bree because I think it was really wrong for her to do that in front of everybody. If that's something that she really wanted to know, she could have pulled Bree aside and asked her that question, not do it in front of everybody. The ladies decided to have a little bit of fun because there was a lot of drama that went down in the house. So when they got on the bus on their way to Charlotte, North Carolina, they decided to play Never Have I Ever. And it was really fun to watch them play that because it was no drama for once, because a lot of the drama to me seemed manufactured, like that fight between Persuasion and Anne. So they were having a good time playing Never Have I Ever. And then Persuasion decides to pull Krishan to the side and apologize to her. It seemed as if, Krishan accepted Persuasion's apology, but that wasn't enough for Persuasion because she has to also try to make the audience's perception of her change. And so she decides to start crying and get really, really emotional, like really emotional. And she starts getting hugged by some of the ladies and stuff. And she says that she just beat cancer before she got into the house. And everybody's like, oh my God, you just found out that you beat cancer. Wow, we didn't even know that you were battling cancer. And then when she starts telling the story, you realize that she never even had cancer at all. What happened was she must have gotten some type of checkup and they found some abnormal cells and they decided to test those cells to make sure it wasn't cancer. And then they called her up probably before she even got on the show and told her that she was cancer free, that it was just a scare, everything's all good. But for her to portray it as if she was just battling cancer before she came on the show, and that's why she's been behaving the way she's been behaving, is really disgusting, because there's people really battling some serious diseases right now. And for her to just make it seem like she was going through the same thing just to gain sympathy from the viewers and from, the other ladies in the house, to me was just disgusting. And Krishan was the only one to call her out on this. And everybody thought that, Krishan was wrong, because Krishan basically said that she felt like Persuasion was lying about the whole cancer thing. And then she said that she didn't believe that Persuasion's apology to her was genuine. And I don't think it was genuine either. It's something that Persuasion has done before. She did it when it came to Winter. She fought her on her season of Bad Girls Club because she claimed that Winter was bullying Kaylee, although Persuasion, was a part of the bullying of Kaylee too, but she wanted to change the viewer's perception of her, so she decided to fight Winter to make it look like she slayed the bully. And then on the reunion, she decides to act like she's this changed person who's grown so much, and she's hugging Winter and hugging everybody else, acting like she's not about fighting or anything, just for them to fall out all over again and for her to be on this show right now fighting with people. I really didn't think it was fair, once again, when they got to the different house in Charlotte, North Carolina, that all the other ladies had to share rooms. The rooms were really ugly. Some of them had bunk beds in them. And then Natalie and Jayla got their own rooms, a big bed, their own space away from all the other ladies. And it's just like, if Natalie is going to be a part of the cast, she needs to be treated like every other cast member. And I just don't think that it's fair at all. And then Jayla, because she's Natalie's little pet, gets special treatment as well. And it's like, I'm ready to see the two of them fall out, because we know that it's going to happen. Every girl that gets close to Natalie ends up falling out with her and then deciding to air her out on social media and expecting to get sympathy from the viewers, when we're not going to give you guys any sympathy when you guys get done dirty by Natalie, because you guys already know what Natalie gives. And if you don't know by now, then she's going to let you know. So I'm ready to see the two of them fall out, because I know that it's going to happen. But I just don't think that it's fair that Natalie gets special treatment and whoever's kissing her ass is going to get special treatment as well. Like, they didn't even do that in the Bad Girls Clubhouse. Every girl had the same thing. All the rooms were equally as nice as the other. The beds were all the same size. I just think it's really annoying and it's really messy. And this is why a lot of the bad girls say they don't want to do this show. So at the very end of this episode, Rollie and Anne end up getting into it because Anne starts spazzing out on Rollie for having Bree in her room. Now, Bree was not in Anne's room because Anne and Rollie don't share a room. Anne shares a room with Krishan. But the room is on the same floor as Rollie, and Rollie wanted to smoke with Bree, so she had Bree in her room with the door shut. And Anne gets pissed off about this, and she starts yelling at Rollie because she's saying, why would you bring this girl next to my room when you know that me and her have beef and she might ruin my stuff? She's saying that she saw the Bad Girls Club and she knows that they like to destroy each other's shit, and she's not about that. And I just felt like, she's going at everybody except for Bree. If you have an issue with Bree, go after Bree. Stop going after people who associate with Bree. And Anne did this on purpose. She knew that Bree was not going to go into her room and touch her stuff. Trust and believe, if Bree wanted to go in there and fuck with her shit, she would have did it before they even went into this house in North Carolina. She would have did it the day that Anne called her out on the bus for allegedly being a escort. So I just feel like Anne does too much. She's acting like Sydney Starr was last season, where every time the cameras were there, she had to jump up and try to be the center of attention. She wants to get as much airtime as she can because she's a clout chaser, like she said she was on Instagram the other day. And so I felt like she did too much. And, you know, I respect Rollie for trying to keep her composure, because she really did try not to swing on this girl. But Anne ended up getting into Rollie's face, and Rollie just ended up swinging on her, and the two of them started fighting. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Baddies South. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos, and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it so much. I'm getting closer to reaching my goal, so I want to thank you all for that. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.